This week is a cozy catch-up where I've got an agenda over here to keep me on track. We're going to talk about a couple of updates to my personal TN as well as my memory keeping scrapbook, still not sure what to call it, TN. I'm going to go over some happy mail that I've received recently where I was gifted a couple of pens by pen friends to try out, as well as some ink samples. And then, if we have time, I'm going to try a little DIY that I've been wanting to try for a while and haven't had a chance to, so maybe today will be that day. So I invite you to grab yourself a beverage, a snack, and something to keep you company while we hang out and chat. I just had breakfast, so I'm not going to have a snack, but I am working on my coffee. Okay, I'm going to start with the easiest things, the quickest updates. The first is my personal TN, and it's a really small update, but I wanted to share nonetheless. I added a new charm to the side. So a few videos ago, I talked about how I picked up a few brass charms from Baumkuchen, and I was debating whether to hang this charm here or here. And I also have a little Trust the Process circle charm, and I had thought about hanging this over here, but I decided because it was small, it might look really nice on the side, and it's a really small change. These little details make me so happy, so I wanted to share that. So that was the first update. The second update is in my last video before this one, I did a flip through of my completed insert for this Traveler's Diner TN that I tend to use for memory keeping. And at the end of that video, I picked a new insert, which was the Blackwing TN collaboration insert that I got as a gift from Leanne from Leanne Likes. I love that insert, but as I was about to use it, I noticed that the paper felt a little toothier, and I did a little more research into it, and I found that the paper is what they're calling MD cotton paper, and it's specifically nice to use with pencil. And so I noticed that it felt a little different from the MD paper that I'm used to. Because of that, I decided to save that insert so that I could use it more for maybe pencil sketches or just not something that I'm going to scrap paper all over. So I switched to a different insert, and I wanted to update you. So the insert that I went with instead is this Kyoto blank MD cream paper insert that I picked up from the Kyoto Travelers Factory, and I've already filled in a few pages from some happy mail that I have received, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to dedicate this to being strictly happy mail or just anything goes. I think the less rules the better, so I'm tempted to just keep it as is the way I did before, but I wanted to share that quick update. And the good thing with this insert is that there's a lot of blank space here, so I do have plans to decorate the cover, but because I overthink things, I just want to take a little bit of time before I jump in and add some stickers. So I think what I will do is, because this is a rose gold foil, I might choose some of my Starbucks Reserve stickers because those have rose gold foil as well. And then I think I really want to try that sort of maximalist collage style that I've been seeing everywhere, because I'm a maximalist at heart. I really love seeing lots and lots of things. I love being surrounded by my hobbies and surrounded by things I love. So I think I'm going to do that, but I'm going to take some time to think about it because these inserts tend to take me almost a year to complete. So I would like to take my time to decorate it. So I will update you when I do that. But anyway, yeah, that's my update on the Traveler's Diner insert. On its way to getting nice and fluffy, and I can't wait to do a flip through with you when it's complete, maybe in a year from now. Okay, while we're on Traveler's Notebook, I think maybe I'll actually jump ahead to the last sort of DIY that I wanted to try, just because inky things tend to get a little messy, so I might as well go ahead and do that first. So I don't know for sure, So I don't know for sure if this is going to work, but I had this thought that with these TN covers, especially the ones that don't really have anything, you know, on them, I wonder if I could try to DIY like a craft folder, because with my TNs, I always like to have some kind of barrier between the leather and the inserts, because the leather can rub off on the inserts. I've had this craft folder since I think 2017, and it actually has held up really well. So my thinking was, you know, this is pretty thin cardboard. I think this is a little thinner, but if my main goal is to have just a barrier between my TN and my inserts, I was thinking maybe I could try to turn this into a folder. So I don't really have a plan other than to use my existing craft folder and see if I can kind of trace the shape out. So I thought we could try it out, and if it fails, then no big deal, because I might have recycled this anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this center as the spine. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. This is just an experiment. Okay, so I think it's going to be more important to make sure that the bottom is fully covered, because the top, if it's a little shorter, that's okay. Right away, I can see that as great as this idea sounded, it's not going to exactly fit, but I think I still want to give this a try. Okay, so that's the general shape of what it would look like laying flat. And then I want to cut out a little bit extra to fold over. So unfortunately, I won't be able to get this really nice shape here, but I think what I could do is I could try anyway to create a thinner version based on what I have. And then, or I could get, I could use some of these like Love and Trip type plastic, or sorry, Love and Trip, what are these called? Sticker pockets, and put them in here just so there's a little more room to add things to this if I wanted it to be a folder. So I think that could be, like, either option could be interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to cut this just yet. I think what I'll do is I'll fold it first and see how that goes. And I have this tool that I got a while ago. It's called a folder creaser. And I got this when I was trying to stretch out leather, and it was a big mistake. But I think you can also use this to help crease like cardstock, so that it doesn't, what's the word? Like you don't break it, but you just make it easier to crease. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see. I've never done this before, so I have no idea if this is actually going to work, but let's just try it out. Cool. Okay, so you can see it did create a crease. I mean, maybe I should have used a proper ruler, but let's see what happens. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So that created a nice crease there. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just going to turn it around this way. Okay. All right. So, okay. So now we kind of have this, and then I noticed that they have like 3 creases here, and I assume it's maybe just to make it so that it can hold more. So we have this middle piece here, and then we have 3 here. I think I'm actually going to use a ruler for that. So I've got this bigger ruler here, and I'm gonna do the middle first. So I'm gonna take this guy. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe I should wait until I've actually cut out the rest of this for the middle. So I think the next step is probably going to be to cut the flaps. Now, I don't think I need that much. So I'm tempted to just cut it here, even though it's not going to quite fit. But I mean, there's not really much I could do anyway to get it to fit. So normally I would prefer to do this with an X-Acto knife, but I don't have one on me. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut right here. And I think I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so how are we doing? Okay, so we have this, and if I were to cut, this is definitely something I would prefer to do with an X-Acto knife, but I don't know where mine is right now. So let me just see this again. So I noticed that this flap starts here. So I don't know if you can see that on camera. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of cut it this way and just remove the rest here. Okay. And then I'm going to use this again. This wouldn't be the same, but I could use this and kind of create some similar type of folder. It definitely wouldn't be exactly the same, but it would allow it to function as a folder. So if I were to kind of have a similar thing like this, I could do that. And as I said, it wouldn't function exactly the same way. That's one option. Or I could create some kind of separate flap, potentially with another piece of cardboard, and then this would become the edge. So it would be like a flap like that, but then this would just be the edge that would kind of keep it in place. That's another option. And I guess I would want to try to follow the fold lines for this. I mean, ideally I don't have to use any additional cardboard to make this, so I'm honestly kind of tempted to just go with something like this. It's definitely not the most professional, but I think if I were to do this, I could potentially get a more satisfying angle. So this angle would be something more like, let's see, 2.5 inches. Be something like this. And that would fit a lot more, I think, than this really steep angle. This wouldn't really fit much. I just tape that so it stays. And then if I took this and I did something similar, I think that could work. And I wouldn't mind having the edges rounded a little bit. Okay. And then later I'm going to figure out what I want to do with this side. So I think I'm probably going to cover this, but before I glue everything, I just want to take a bit of time to think about it. But yeah, so that's my little experiment. I mean, it's definitely not as clean as this folder is, but this came with the TN, so I'm quite happy that I was able to kind of like repurpose the cover. And I think once I decorate it and figure out how I want to, you know, finally assemble this, I think it'll be a nice protector between the leather and the insert. So stay tuned. I will update you on this and how it looks. If you have any suggestions on how I could do this differently, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions, but I think I'm gonna leave this for now. And yeah, I'll update you later on what I end up doing. It's a few days later, and I realized that I didn't follow up on how things ended with the folder. So instead of leaving you with a half-finished Frankenstein cardboard folder, I wanted to show you how I finished things off. So I had a few different ideas on how I wanted to cover the folder. I thought about using like a spray adhesive and adding some fabric, which I think would have been really lovely. I thought as well about trying to use a more neutral grid type washi that I have, but honestly, I couldn't find it, which is kind of embarrassing to say. So I landed on using my trusty William Morris MT wallpaper washi tape, which is one of my all-time favorite washi tapes. I love how thick it is. I love how it sticks really well to whatever I am using it for. And I love the wallpaper pattern. I find it really relaxing to match up the pattern. It is kind of like wallpapering on a wall, except a lot less expensive and a lot easier to do. And so I just wanted to show you some clips of how I did it. I've had a few questions before about how I cover my insert covers, and this is what you see here is exactly how I do it. So I very carefully line up the pattern, and every offcut gets saved in my sticker release insert. So I do use those. I don't throw them out. And it may seem like a lot of washi tape, but I tend to use them on things that I know I'll be looking at for a long time. So I don't mind because this folder is going to live in one of my TNs and I'll get to look at it forever. So I'm glad that I did that. I think it's a really cheerful pattern and I love how neutral it is. So it's going to go well with any of my covers, in my opinion. I was able to also use the washi tape to cover up some of the little gaps that I had at the bottom, which is great. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I debated whether I wanted to cover the inside as well, just so that I could hide the additional folds from the original TN packaging. It's okay. I mean, I can always do that at a later date. Most of the time it's going to be not noticeable because I'm going to be putting stuff inside the folders. And yeah, I think I might even decorate the outside with some stickers. I'll think about it, but I'll update you. And yeah, let me know what you think. And of course, if you have any suggestions on how I can improve this, if I were to try this again, let me know. I might do something similar for my passport TN. My main objective was that I could use the entire cardboard without needing additional materials. So aside from using the washi tape to cover it, I think this worked out really well, and I'm really pleased that I was able to reuse some packaging that I would have probably just recycled or it would have just sat on my shelf. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And so that's the end of this clip from a few days later, and we'll get back to the original video now. So I recently received this Asvine V126 from Danielle from my Dandelion Diaries. And I think, oh, I don't know if you're supposed to be able to open that actually. And I think this is supposed to be very similar to the Pilot Custom 823. And it looks like this is a, I don't know actually. I'm not sure what nib size this is. So if you know how to find out with these pens, let me know. So we've got that. And then I received this Penbbs 323 with a fine mini fude nib from Wendi Sue from Fountain Pen News. So I'm very excited to try these pens out. In addition, Wendi Sue sent me this beautiful looking bottle of Tom Studio Iris. And Danielle sent me some ink samples that I'm really excited to try, especially and predictably Pilot Iroshizuku. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but that's one of their newest inks. And I'm really excited to try these out. So we're going to do a little bit of ink swatching. And so Wendi Sue has these little ink swatching tools that she calls swINKs, and I believe they are offcuts from pen blanks, and she covers them so that you can use them to swatch ink. So I'm really, really excited. She asked me if I wanted something neutral because I tend to be more neutral, or if I wanted to be surprised, and I told her to surprise me. And this is what she sent. It is so beautiful. So I can't wait to use that. And the other thing she sent me was this, I don't know. I'm not sure what this is called. And I'm really afraid to break it. But if I can get this out, okay. Oh, I think it's like an ink muddler. So another way to swatch tools. So that's really beautiful. I've been getting, I think it's glass. I've been getting a few more glass things recently, and I'm so afraid I'm gonna break them, but hopefully I don't. So that's what it looks like. It's very beautiful. I've got my A6, and I'm actually gonna put this over here so that I can protect the back a little bit just in case there's a bit of bleed through. And we're just gonna test out these inks and see how they look. So, okay, I've got my coffee filter. I've got some clean water over here. And Danielle also sent me this very cute ink sample holder. So I've got two now, which I think is great. All right, so I haven't even looked at these colors. So I think we'll start with, I'm just going to grab one at random. So this is called Ferris Wheel Press, the Sherry Sonata. I think I'll try this first. No, I want to try Wendy's thing first. So I don't want to take too much though. Okay, I think I actually need a little more. Wow. Danielle, thank you so much. So I think Danielle did mention that she picked a few inks that she thought would pair nicely with my Sailor pen that I got in Japan, which is this pen over here. So this is a stunning color. Okay. So I've inked this up with Compeki, of course, because I want to test it first. So I'm just going to write out what this is. So this is called Ferris Wheel Press, the Sherry Sonata. This one's Diamine Maple Leaf. Oh, okay, it's a lot. All right. This is so fun to use, Wendi Sue. Thank you so much. This is called Diamine Maple Leaf. This is also a really beautiful color. Oh wow, okay, I'm getting really excited to use these. Thank you so much. Okay, third one. Van Dieman's Feline Here Kitty Kitty. Is this a shimmering? Oh wait, I think this is a shimmer ink. Maybe I'll just shake it a little bit. Oh no! Okay, well, let's see what happens. This is very pretty. It's very light. I don't know if maybe there's a bit of water on my swatching tools, so maybe I'll try this to see what happens. Okay, maybe I just had too much water on my thing. Cool. Okay. So this one is called I think they pronounce it Van Dieman's Feline. Here, kitty, Kitty. This one's called Viva Magenta Monteverde USA. Wow, okay. Oh, there's so many beautiful pinks out there. Okay. Okay, this one's called Viva Magenta. I feel like one of these could even work really nicely with this pen. So, Viva Magenta. Oh, I think that's the name of the ink. And then it's Monteverde. And then the next one is Robert Oster Earth. I don't think this is a pink one, but since I love earthy colors, I feel like this is going to be a good one. Ooh, that is pretty. This one is called Robert Oster Earth. And the last one, Pilot Iroshizuku Syun-gyo, which I was really hoping I could get a sample of. I was tempted to buy the bottle when they first came out because I'm never disappointed with Pilot inks, but I figured I could wait a little while first because if it being a new ink, I don't think the availability will always be difficult. Oh my gosh, okay. I don't know why, given that I'm in this purple phase, I don't know why it took me, oh, this is not what I was expecting. This is so beautiful. I can't believe I slept on this ink. Okay. I love this ink so much. I love it. Okay. All the images that I saw online, it looked like it was more of a brown. So I guess maybe I need to let it dry and then see how it actually writes. But wow, I'm in love. Oh, I can't even, I'm so excited I can't even, I need to start this over again. Okay. This almost reminds me a little bit of Ume Murasaki, which is another one of my favorite inks. Okay, I cannot wait to ink that into a pen. Okay, so the last is this bottle of Iris by Tom Studio. Oh my, okay. At least it didn't drip on the other stuff. We'll do a bigger one because I have a lot. Oh, wow, look at that. And then I'm going to try this muddler thing. So, I don't know. How does this work? Do you just dip it in? Oh, okay. Pretty. Oh, it's a little too big to write with. Okay, well, what a beautiful palette of ink colors. Thank you so much, Wendi Sue and Danielle. I love this so much. I'm going to use it all the time. And these colors are just so beautiful. I cannot wait to use these in pens. I actually wish I had used a dip pen to write out the names because now I'm curious how they actually look in writing. So I'm going to test this out a little more and then I'm going to add an entry into my long form writing insert. So look forward to that. And I'm also going to test this out as well. So I'm just gonna set that aside, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and ink this up. I assume it'll be very similar to how you fill up the 823. And I'm not going to do too much because I have so many inks to play with it now. I just want to try other inks. Okay. Okay, so let's see if I can. Interesting, okay. So I actually do have my Pilot Custom 823 still inked with the same ink, Pilot Iroshizuku Konpeki. So I think maybe it would be interesting to try. So this is to compare. So Asvine V126. It has a nice feedback to it on the page. Okay, and then my Pilot Custom 823. Well, this is definitely smoother. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's definitely a lot less feedback. Very, very first preview, I guess, of the comparison. That's the Asvine V126 with Konpeki, and that's Pilot Custom 823 with Konpeki. So I'll also do a little more testing with this, and I'll share my thoughts in a future video. But if you have any questions about these two, let me know, and I'll try to address them in a future video. But otherwise, that's all that I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed this cozy catch-up. Let me know what you got up to while we were hanging out today. And what ink do you think I should ink this pen up with? What do you think is the best fit? I actually think I'm gonna go back and maybe try writing samples. And also, because of my clumsiness, this is technically Diamine Maple Leaf with a drop of Van Diemen's Feline here, kitty kitty, because that's just how I am. So if you're still here, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope you had a nice time, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye!